Hi, welcome to this e-lecture on Management Information Systems and Decision Support Systems. Now, this lecture will concentrate on Management Information Systems. Okay, if you recall in the previous lecture, we have talked about the TPS or Transaction Processing System, where it's an information system for transactions, be it your cashier at the supermarket using the point of sale system, or in a warehouse where an employee takes note of what goods come into the warehouse. Now, all these chapters, we look more at the operational level. Okay, and if you recall, we always have a diagram to illustrate our pyramid. Okay, where we have at the bottom we have our transaction processing system, okay, and we have our enterprise resource planning system, where all these are more at the operational level. Which they support our day-to-day activities. Okay, so and that we know that they collect data, edit data, okay, verify data, manipulate data, and they output documents. Now we propagate this data to our MIS, okay, or our DSS, which is our decision support systems, okay, where these are at the tactical level, where they make use of information captured at the operational level, okay, to support decision making by managers or middle level managers. Okay, and finally, okay, we have our executive support systems, okay, which are at the strategic level. Okay, where they support long-term decisions, okay, long-term and also strategic decisions. Okay, by our senior management. All right, so you see a keyword that keeps on appearing is decisions and decisions. All right, so we will introduce about decision making and problem solving in this section. All right, okay, where the entire purpose of especially this portion over here, okay, is to support better decision making. Now, for example, okay, say we are a transport company. Now we have to make decisions to decide on the least expensive way to ship products from one place to another. And other than least expensive, it has to be cost effective and it has to be timely. Or for example, a bank might have to make decisions on who should receive a loan. Okay, he or she might not have enough money or assets, and how do we evaluate whether he or she can take a loan from us? Or shop managers, okay, they can decide whether how much inventory they have to order to meet customer needs and hence therefore to increase profits. So everyone wants to be a problem solver, okay, and to be an effective decision maker. So the whole thing is about problem solving. Okay, problem solving. So we will first talk about defining the stages of decision making. All right. Now there are several phases in decision making. Okay, this is the first part of the problem solving process. Okay, in the decision making phase, there is the intelligence phase. Okay, where we have potential problems or opportunities identified and defined. So these are where we find out what the problem is. Okay, what is the in a situation, what is the reason that caused this unsatisfactory result? Okay, for example, we are again, let's say we are apple farm company. We produce apples and we have to ship these apples to shops in another country. So a problem that we have to face is, first, the apples are perishable, meaning they will spoil by a certain date. And the next question comes, okay, where what is the price that we should charge our apples in another country to make sure that they are willing to pay, right? So these are certain problems that we face. And the other problems, for example, there might be import or export laws. There might be taxes being imposed for our shipment of these apples, right? So all this, okay, are where we identify potential problems and then we define them. Okay, now, so having identified or defining the problem, we go to the design stage where we try to generate alternative solutions to the problem. Okay, so back to the example of shipping apples, some alternative solutions would be, okay, I can ship the apples either by ship, by sea, okay, but in which case it will take a longer time, or I can ship them by air, but in which case it will be faster, but it will probably cost more. So these are alternative solutions. Now we next go down to the choice stage, okay, where we actually select from the alternative solutions a course of action. Okay, so for example, back to my Apple example, I will choose, for example, to ship my apples via air, okay, via airplane. Okay, so we first identify the problem, okay, and then we go to design stage where we evaluate what are the alternative solutions, and finally we choose one of the solution. Okay, this is a diagram illustration of the decision making process in the problem solving. Okay, as mentioned before, we identify the problem, next we come up with alternative solutions, and after that we make a choice of which solution we want to take. This is the decision making process. Now, the next step in our problem solving process is actually implementing our choice. So this is the portion where we actually have to get our apples to the airport and actually ship or airflow the apples to the other country. Okay, now the next step after implementing is to monitor, all right, to see how effective our choice has been made. Now in monitoring, we evaluate the results, and then we will, based on also further feedback, perhaps from consumers, customers, okay, and based on them, we'll adjust them. All right. So for example, back to our Apple example, we might need to change an air carrier if they have regular shipping delays. All right. So next we come to a further element of decision making. Okay, decisions can be categorized into two kinds. The first is structured decisions. Okay, now structured decisions are decisions made using a rule, procedure, or quantitative method. So for example, in my warehouse, I have a rule to say that inventory should be ordered when inventory levels drop to 100 units, okay, drop to 100 units or below. So this is a very easy rule to follow. As long as my inventory level drop to below 100, I'll do an order, and these are easy to computerize, okay, because they just follow straightforward rules. Okay, now the other kinds of decisions that are not so easy to make are non-structured decisions, where the decision deals with unusual or exceptional situations, and they are not easily quantified. When we say not easily quantified, it means that it's not easily translated to a single number. Okay, for example, perhaps in a retail shop, in a boutique, okay, you have to decide whether you want to sell a new kind of product. Now, this is not easily quantifiable, and it's quite unusual. Okay, or perhaps you're choosing whether you want to install a new kind of a machinery in your factory. Again, you have to weigh the benefits and the drawbacks. So this again is not easily quantifiable. So these are non-structured decisions. All right. Now next, we go on to explain the uses of management information systems and describe their inputs and outputs. Now, an overview of management information systems. A management information system provides managers with information that supports effective decision making and provides feedback on daily operations. Okay, so it provides managers and decision makers with information to help achieve organization goals. Now, in essence, okay, it provides the right kind of information, okay, to the right person, in the right format, at the right time. Okay, and MIS provides the right information to the right person in the right format at the right time. Okay, for example, a manager might request a report of weekly sales. Okay, and these sales can be broken down by geographic area, right? So on the basis of this information, the manager can decide to redistribute her sales staff to perhaps cover places which have higher sales over there. Okay, so this is an example of a management information system. It helps supports our middle managers to make informed decisions. So again, this is the entire flow chart to illustrate how a management information system fits into the whole picture, right? So initially, we first have our supply chain and business transactions, okay, which are captured by our ERP systems and our transaction processing systems, okay, and these are stored in our databases, okay, and also databases of valid transactions. Now, these databases of valid transaction is an input to the management system, okay, where a management information system also takes input from external data and also corporate databases of internal data. All right, and you see what the management information system outputs. Okay, it outputs a set of reports. Okay, schedule reports to key indicator, to demand, to exception, to drill down reports. Okay, and next we go on to application databases, where it helps support decision support systems, executive support systems, specialized information systems. So this is very much what we have seen in the pyramid, where over here, okay, it's at the operational level, okay, where we have our ERP and TPS, okay, and over here we have our tactical level, which help provide this decision support making to our middle managers, and finally we have our strategic level, where we help provide long-term and strategic decisions to senior management. Okay, so this is how a management information system fits in perspective. A very important portion is that a management information system takes in input, okay, of a valid transaction, and it outputs our reports. So we have mentioned already that there are inputs to a management information system. Now these inputs can come from two sources. First is the internal data source, and second, external data sources. Okay, for internal data sources, transaction processing systems and ERP systems, okay, and related databases, okay, and data warehouses and data marts and specific functional areas feed into the MIS. Okay, and external data sources. Okay, we also have external data sources that feeds into the MIS, and these include customers, suppliers, competitors, and stockholders whose data is not already captured by the TPS. We also have information from the internet, okay, to feed into the MIS, and also from extranets, okay, where they link with suppliers and other business partners. To exchange data and information. So the MIS uses the data obtained from these sources and processes them into information more usable by managers, primarily in the form of predetermined reports. Okay. So some of the reports, okay, as for example, some of the reports are as follows. Okay, a schedule report. Now, a schedule report, as its name suggests, okay, is a report that might be generated periodically, either daily, monthly, or weekly. So, for example, a manager could have a weekly report that shows the total sales in that week or the total payroll cost in that week. Okay, so this is a scheduled report, which is periodic. Now, next we have a key indicator report, which summarizes the previous day's critical activities. Okay, for example, inventory levels, or production activity, or what are the sales volume. So all these are indicators of the previous day. Next, we have demand reports. Okay, demand reports are simply reports generated on demand or at someone's request. Okay, they can be any report as long as it's on as per request or demanded. For example, FedEx, it provides demand reports on its websites to allow customers to track their packages from the source to final destination. Okay. Other examples of demand reports are reports requested by executives to show the hours worked by a particular employee, okay, or total sales to date for a product. Now, we go on to exception report. Exception report shows the unusual situations, okay, or incidents which require management action. Okay, for example, okay, a manager can generate an exception report which shows a list of items which are defective or which have been complained many times by users. Okay, so this helps them help managers to quickly look at potential errors or potential incidents which might cause consumer unhappiness. Okay, lastly, we have a drill down report, which is a more detailed report about a particular situation. Okay, where we can go down to more detailed data.